correlation between the campaigns that exist right now for positions that haven't been elected for. So if you want to speak to the future, you can. Sure.
So just to address that issue, it isn't an issue that you can fix within a year at all, because you can't get students who haven't been involved just studying it like that as well. You first need to create a community and an environment in which involvement is almost like second nature to students. They want to be involved because they gain benefits from being involved. They have a share on the campus, a reason to be involved. So through campaigns that are launched monthly, you follow campaigns, through outreach campaigns of me or whoever it is, groups that will go out and speak to these students. I personally wish to foster a community where everyone is comfortable and involvement is something you do instead of going home after class, right?
So again, great. So questions around. We have one more question. If you all need to go with complete with it. Okay. So we'll move on again to moderator question. And then I'll leave it over. Some students have concerns with the level of inclusivity on the campus. What specific initiatives will you implement to make this campus more sexually and racially inclusive?
Okay, the big thing that I want to focus on right here is cross-college collaboration. I think it's very, very important that our peers be able to understand where all of us are coming from and respect our differences and be able to understand that and carry that over to the next person and the next person, and that way in creating a more inclusive environment so we can respect us, respect our peers. So yeah, more collaboration and creating more dialogue as well, a lot more anti-oppression training, a lot more equity training, just across the board, because these trainings aren't happening, these discussions aren't happening, and I'd love to see it happening.
So again, I'm going to use the word collaboration. It's key to this platform, my platform specifically, because when you do collaborate, you do introduce different constituencies to one another. You have big clubs that can outreach to demographic students which have never either been reached before or reached before by that specific club. So when everyone works together in fostering a community, then it's taken care of through the collaborative spirit of the students. So in all honesty, every platform point here, be it like for international students or students who go to like their home, have more like driving music, something that we do as a family or as a community. Just bring that on campus. Give the students a reason to want to stay on campus, and that will give them a comforting sense, and it's better their everything for them, their student life, their academics, and whatever it may be. So just fostering that idea of collaboration will help eliminate all of these issues, hopefully.
Thank you. So we want to do the last page?
I don't know.
Oh, great. How do you do that?
Sure. I guess one thing would be that if, again, I have said this previously just now in one of my answers where this isn't something that's fixed within a year. It's something that needs to be ongoing, continuously needs to be involved in. So being here and pushing for these ideals and this sense of community, I feel that I will be able to follow through with these and within the next few years, my presence on campus, and we could all enjoy the fruits which is there for us all. So just
just a kind of note that when we reach the rebuttal stage, it should be addressing the other candidate's portfolio or the doctor point. So just a point for everybody. And right now, we'll merge right into our Q&A. So this is an open forum. You can ask any questions for their no time in the short constraint. At this point, I would like to ask everyone to join Matthew and Ida on the center of the stage. So again, I'd like to encourage everybody to hold each candidate accountable, regardless of whether they're in a position which has multiple candidates or just one. Specifically for the presidential candidate, he is accountable for everything that the student equity is for, externally for, academically for. So the voice of the union is one that needs to be heard, so I encourage all of you to questions. So yeah, I'm going to address this here.
So question for the the three advocacy positions are elected, but then the three hired positions that don't even go through a process and actually go more of a hiring. So I guess my question to you would be is how do you plan to integrate those three positions with the three elected positions, considering that those three positions have really had the exposure to students like the other candidates do in an election?
through elected positions, but I look at it as an organization, as a group of people that have one mandate and one mandate. That have one mandate is to serve the people, right? So it doesn't matter if you are elected, if you are hired. The reason you are in that office or elected or hired to be in that office is to serve the students. That's it, point blank, right? So it doesn't matter if you're hired or whatever. I think that advocacy work can also, if you're a hired person, let's say an HR position, right? You provide jobs to students. One of the biggest issues we have on campus is students don't have a job, right? If you're in operation, right? One of the things that you do is constantly is trying to make sure the functions of the office are functioning properly, that the services are being provided properly, right? So if these services are not provided, students are suffering, right? All of this can be constituted to be said to be, it can be said to be advocacy as well, right? So it doesn't matter what position you are in that unit. It doesn't matter if you're staff, if you're a part-time staff, if you are an executive. The one thing we should be doing always is serving the students.
Any other questions?
So, for all candidates, I wonder if you could sort of explain how you actually think getting your campaign implemented. So one thing to promise something, it's another thing to follow through on how you plan to make it done. And that's the work you're doing.
Oh, great. Okay, so this touches back on what I said earlier about it not being just a job. It has to be something that you have to really devote yourself to. Meaning that it has to be a lifestyle thing. It cannot be just a 40-hour work week where you just like say I'm gonna clock my hours and go home. The students are here all the time, they're studying all the time, everyone has different times that they want to be able to do things. And you have to be able to accomplish that and so that's how I plan on being able to facilitate the outreach and the campaigns and the training and stuff like that. If you need me, I am there. That's it.
So I guess it would be similar to my candidate, my fellow candidate's answer, where it is, I do agree, a lifestyle that is, you take on this role for the students, not for you, not for the position, not for the money, whatever it is. It's for the students. Therefore, you must be able to dedicate yourself to not only your platform, but to the team that you're working with, and make sure that everything is done efficiently. If something, for example, isn't able to be done right then and there, you don't try to make it happen. You facilitate as much as you can, and you come up with different alternatives. You try to figure out, okay, how can we work as a team to achieve in the future, not this year. There are some promises which I do get, but some things which I will not be able to achieve within a year. Perhaps 2 years will happen, if not 3 years. But everything needs to be set in motion for this coming year so that we can make use of this. We can push it with momentum forward. So be it outreach where you dedicate more than the 40 hours required, or be it you create more forums and more abilities and more opportunity for students to speak out. Whatever it is, you as a person must dedicate yourself to it. And that's the only way this will happen, dedication.
Great. I just want to make a point to leadership real estate time and try to be just a little bit more concise with the answers. This is a free period where we don't have time, but we do need to move on to the individual summary of the candidates from help. So let's just keep that in mind.
I won't be long, but basically, you're asking me how am I going to implement the things around competition. If you looked at my posted learning guide, you actually haven't seen anything that I've posted as things that I'm going to comment. To be honest, the things that I'm going to comment to you guys are on these pages right here. Okay? These are things, okay, that students can voice out. In the last few days, this is what I've heard from people. In the last few days, this is what I've heard from clubs. This is what needs to happen. This is what we need to do.
Great. Okay, so after all this is speak, right now we're moving on to the 45-second summary of each candidate. So just for the candidates that they can say anything of this one can be related, or it can be their own platform related, or related to the diversity forum. After this, we'll move on to the portfolio. So 45 seconds each. Can you just realize? Can you start next?
So the reason why I decided to run for this position is that I have taken a personal role in this campus in many different areas, and I want to see something happen. I want to see change. I want to see students engaged. I want to enhance their experience. very apathetic and feel like they're not cared about. And I'm very passionate in making something happen for them and making them feel like they leave this place like someone cares about them.
So on an ideal campus, students are without labels. We are just students. But here in Scarborough, we seem to be divided up. And while most students fall in specific groups and constituencies, the fact is that students among us, some of them are unable to express themselves and use the powers and stakeholders that they do have on this campus. My job is to be their voice, to make sure that every single one of them is heard, every single one of them feel like they belong, and they have a reason to stay on campus instead of going home. We are students at the campus. We must acknowledge that, and we must facilitate collaboration and a sense of community no matter what